One thing we're not looking at is snow or ice, which usually happens when Boise State is in this stadium. Tyler King back in the end zone. It's over his head, and Wyoming will have the first possession. Boise State won the toss, and they deferred. And a quarterback change about 3 games ago. It's not Evan Svoboda, who started this season. It's a redshirt freshman, Caden Anderson.
Yeah, he got his first start against New Mexico just a couple weeks ago. That was a win. They won that game 49-45. Led that team on the road to win that game. He was actually Mountain West Freshman of the Week that week as well after his performance. They love how he's been able to develop, get up to speed since training camp, and feel confident about him being the starter.
He'll throw it on the mark, caught at the 40, and that's Chris Durr Jr., who's starting to emerge as a weapon, and a positive play for Wyoming of 19 yards to start the night.
Yeah, very important for Wyoming in this football game, Rich, as it pertains to Caden Anderson in his passing game, getting the ball out of his hands quickly. Boise State's so good rushing the passer, you don't want to be sitting in the pocket too long. Great example right there, play action, got the ball out quick, first down.
They do have an explosive running back in Harrison Whaley in the backfield with Anderson. And he's of some concern to Boise State. And this is Whaley. He's got game-breaking speed, and he spills across midfield. Zion Washington makes the stop for the Broncos, a gain of 6. In this offense, where do you turn?
Well, you look at the wide receivers, they got some weapons out there. Harrison Whaley, a great back, but Jalen Sargent is one of these guys, number 8, really emerging as one of the key targets for Wyoming, especially when you think about trying to drive the ball down the field. Look for Caden Anderson to look for Jalen Sargent on those deep passes tonight.
Wyoming is averaging just 186 yards through the air. It has been a struggle at times this year. Handoff, trying to get around the left side. And King gets to the 46-yard line. He's short of the first down. Ty Benefield, who had a huge game last week against San Jose State with the stop. Good defense, especially the pass rush.
Well, yeah, you talk about Ty Benefield, interception last week, forced fumble, but this defensive line is really where it's at for Boise State. You look at, two of the top guys in the Mountain West, Ahmad Hassanin and Jaden Virgin Morgan, 2 of the leading sack leaders for this defense, and they're going to be looking to wreak havoc tonight in the Wyoming backfield.
You see Shea Oladipo as well. He's been subbing for Alexander Tubner, and he played well at San Jose State. Whistles and flags on 3rd down and 1 as Wyoming has moved into Boise State territory.
Looks like it's going to be a false start here, Rich. There it is right there.
That's just a little bit of a flinch, right? And that's a flag.
It's always the important thing when you play Boise State, right? They're so good. When you have a positive drive going, the last thing you want to do is, have a negative play.
Delay a game. Disconcerting signals. Defense. 5-yard penalty. Results.
Disconcerting signals. You can't do that to draw the offensive lineman offside or in motion. And Spencer Danielson's not happy about it at all.
Got the guys on the shift. It's okay to shift, but if you're barking out any noise, that's where you can cause a penalty there on the defensive line. First down for Wyoming.
So it's 1st and 10 at the Bronco 42. Anderson, redshirt freshman out of Southlake, Texas. And this is Whaley, and he's hit at the 38 and ends up landing at the 37. That's a gain of 5.
Harrison Whaley been out most of the season this year, came back in that New Mexico game, had a great game that week, 170 yards on the ground, but he's really been the meat and potatoes of this offense over the last couple seasons, and unfortunately had a knee injury last year that kept him out pretty much most of the season this year, but they're happy to have him back, working out some of the kinks, but he's going to be key as far as them trying to get this upset tonight.
He's going to play 4 games this year and be eligible next year as a redshirt. Anderson, play action, fires over the middle, contact, and no flags.
Wow. Wow.
Justin Stevenson was the intended receiver. Here's a look.
There's Jeremiah Irby on the coverage there, and you can see him grabbing the arms. I think that restricted Stevenson enough from being able to put his arms up and catch that football. I thought that was pass interference. Look at that right arm. See how he's grabbing his right arm there? He can't get his arms up to catch that football. I think that's a missed call there.
Hey, he got away with it. Jay Sauvel not happy. Neither is the crowd. John Michael Gillenborg in the game. He's been injured and out for the last 2 weeks. He's a terrific tight end. Anderson's throw to the sideline, and it's incomplete. That was over the head of Jalen Sargent. Now what do you do if you're Wyoming? It's 3rd down and 5.
Interesting decision here to make for Wyoming.
Now, look, both of these schools have great field goal kickers. John Hoyland has a big leg. He's hit 6 career 50 or more yarders. However, there's wind a little bit tonight, not as much as they expected, and this is going to be a 54-yarder.
And Coach Sauvel talked about the confidence that he has in his kicker being able to make these 50-plus yarders. Here's an opportunity, a good decision to kick it.
His career long is 56. He's hit 2 of those. He gets into this one. Wow. He could have hit that from 65 yards. That was a bomb. 7 in his career now of over 50 yards.
Well, there's no doubt. I mean, we talked to Coach Jay Sauvel about Hoyland, and he said, look, in practice he hit a 61-yarder, so we feel confident about hitting these opportunities when they come.
So Wyoming with just 2 wins. Jay Sauvel and the Cowboys always seem to play well here against Boise State. And John Hoyland has opened the scoring with a long field goal.
It's a good start for Wyoming. Obviously, you didn't get the pass interference call, but able to get points on this first drive, very important.
Both coaches talked to us about the weather, not snow or ice or rain, but wind and how that would affect them. It's 45 degrees. This is gorgeous on a Saturday in late November in Laradice.
Definitely.
All right, the wind up to 16, maybe up to 25-mile-an-hour gusts. Then in the Mountain West, it's certainly a great night for football. Boise State, their fan base travels so well, and there's a lot of Bronco blue and orange around town and now in this stadium. Dylan Riley getting ready to field this kick.
You know, it's interesting you talk about these Boise State fans. I heard a couple fans in the suites here cheering after Kansas got the victory tonight.
Well, Kansas beat Colorado, and Arizona State did beat BYU. That's both great news for Boise State in their quest for that first-round bye. Riley busts loose. Wow. Across the 35, out to the 37. And here comes the Broncos offense after a 35-yard kick return. Maddox Madsen was really good last week at San Jose State.
Very efficient last week at San Jose State. Best way to describe it. Had a bounce-back game after a subpar performance against Nevada the week prior. Went to San Jose State, very focused. His nickname is Mad Dog, right? They call him Mad Dog, but he's developed into an incredible leader for this team, and he's going to be looking to have a big night tonight.
And, of course, Ashton Jeanty, almost 1,900 yards on the ground this year. Movement and flags. Let's see if somebody flinched.
Well, initially the defensive line jumped, but you're allowed to get back.
Could we have back-to-back disconcerting signals?
I don't think so on this one.
You only get one of those every 3 weeks, right?
Right.
You couldn't get them twice in a night.
Delay game, defense, abrupt movement, 5-yard penalty, and remain first down.
You called it, Rich.
Well, let's watch the left side.
Well, that's Florentine, 94. I think he just jumps. I'm not sure I agree with that one.
1st and 5. Play action. Madsen firing, open. Nice catch. Latrell Capel stretching out into Wyoming territory. Dirk Cutter is so good at designing plays like this, and Madsen put it on the money.
Yeah, one of the real staples of this offense as they hurry to the line of scrimmage are these crossing routes, and Capel's able to complete one for a first down.
That's a 20-yard pickup. Now Jeanty's first carry. And Wyoming hits him. You can hear the crowd reacting to that. Shea Suia-Noa made the stop. Broncos offense so balanced. Almost 500 yards a game.
All the attention goes to the running back, as it should, but you know, these wide receivers are capable. Latrell Capel's already for the first down catch, and Cameron Camper is a guy who can really make some plays as a deep threat in this offense as well. Number 9, be on the lookout for him.
Madsen, and that's JEANTY. Now, there's a change on the offensive line for Boise State, and that is a great sight if you're a Bronco fan. Mark Carrion, the sophomore, who's been out almost the whole year, is back. There's also word that they might get Mason Randolph, their center back, in the Mountain West Championship game. So it's a line that's been banged up, especially that right side. The left side's really good with Cage Casey and Ben Dooley. But Carrion is in there. He's practiced this week. Third down 6.
He's a guy that has next level talent, playing the NFL one day.
JEANTY, they hit him low, and JEANTY's to the 32. He's short of the first down, and a decision now, if you're Boise State, they're going to bring their terrific kicker out, Jonah Dalmas.
Yeah, this is a wise choice by Boise State. Drove down the field. We need to get desperate here in this situation, take the points, get this game to a 3-3 score.
Dalmas, in terms of points and field goals, the record holder in the Mountain West. He is 7 shy of the all-time NCAA record for field goals made. He's at 90. And this one is just wide. That, by just a whisker, was wide left. Boise State comes Laramie. 3-0 Wyoming on top. Weather's great. So is he. He was a great Cowboy, now a Bengal linebacker. Logan Wilson being honored here tonight. Bye week for him. Cowboys on the attack. Quick throw. And off to the sideline is Jalen Sargent. That's another nice pickup of 9 yards.
Yeah, you know, we talked about Caden Anderson in this offense, wanting to get the ball out of his hands quickly, not sitting in the pocket too long. The other key for Wyoming is you'll notice they're going to take their time on offense. You know, we had a conversation with offensive coordinator Jay Johnson, and you know, one of the things that they have in their game plan tonight is not snapping the ball until about 3 to 8 seconds left in the play clock. They really want to be able to control time of possession tonight.
Yeah, I mean, the less times that JEANTY touches the ball, that Madsen gets to throw it, the better their chances are. And you can see the play clock melts right down to 3. Anderson, play action, little dump off there. That's caught. That's Gillenborg. Speaking of the NFL, many people feel he'll be playing in the NFL. We have 2 of the best tight ends on the West Coast, I think, in this game, in Gillenborg and Matt Lauder of Boise State.
Well, there's no doubt about it. And last week he was out because of a collarbone injury. They're happy to have him back. He's going to be key tonight, especially in third down situations, being able to convert on first downs against Boise State defense.
Jay Johnson, offensive coordinator. He's got 2 quarterbacks that he can use, Caden Anderson and Evan Swoboda. He's using Swoboda as a tight end tonight. And Swoboda is lined up in the game right now on 1st and 10. And this is Whaley, who is hit. Devon Banks makes the stop. Check it, Jamari Farrell, only a 1-yard pickup. There's Swoboda. He was the starting quarterback, kind of lost the job. He has great hands, great feet, and he's huge, 6'5", 245. And they decided to try him at tight end, and they really like what they see.
Well, he's really athletic. He looked good at practice, and you see it right there. I mean, one of the hardest things about tight end is blocking. And the first play he's in the game at tight end, they run to his side. So it shows you the confidence that they have in his ability to be able to be versatile within this offense.
He still, though, is the second unit quarterback, if anything should happen to Anderson in this one. That was a tough handle. Farrell gets through, and it looks like he's got close to the first down at the 38-yard line.
Now watch this cut by Farrell. As soon as he gets the football, he's got 2 defenders, juggles it right there, boom. Being able to split those guys and get a positive gain. That should have been a loss in the backfield. You see the quarterback there fumble with the football, but able to get it off.
How many times did you get a handoff with the points sticking straight up and straight down to the football? That doesn't happen
Not
very
often.
often.
No. Nice run there by Farrell.
Yeah, he's short of the first down. It's 3rd down and 1.
I'd give it right back to him.
Pellissier in motion, and it is Farrell, and he's got the first down. Marco Notriati with the stop. You know, this offense, especially against New Mexico, showed signs of being explosive and having the ability to run up a lot of points.
Well, they scored 49 points in that game, most points that they've scored all season long this year. And so the potential is there. And, you know, we talked to Jay Sawville about players he feels like he can build around for the future. Obviously a disappointing season this year, but, you know, Caden Anderson is one of those guys at quarterback. Young guy, really developed over the course of this season, and they feel confident about not only now what he's doing, but his future.
Whaley's in there now, and this is Whaley, and the ball's loose. Let's see if Boise State or Wyoming has it. The officials are on it, and it looks like Wyoming, and Nofo Afia Tuilafono, the center, recover.
Well, Boise State's really good at attacking the football. Last week against San Jose State, 4 takeaways in that football game, 2 of them interceptions, 2 of them on forced fumbles and fumble recovery. So, you know, Wyoming's going to have to be real disciplined with the football tonight.
Crazy stat for you. Wyoming has now fumbled 15 times. They've only lost 3.
That is a crazy stat.
I don't know what the rhyme or reason is for that. And this run goes nowhere. Braxton Feely, the defensive tackle, was in the middle of things. Loss of 1.
Here's number 90 right there. Braxton Feely fighting through some blockers right there, getting a tackle for loss, and he's been a big-time player this season. You know, we talked to Coach Danielson about Braxton. He says he's the most underrated defensive lineman in the Mountain West. And you talk about Spencer Danielson being so close to his team. He actually officiated Braxton's wedding this offseason. So, impact player for this defense.
This is the second best team in the country at getting to the quarterback. 41 sacks for Boise State. Anderson, plenty of time here. Hit as he throws, and it's incomplete. Nick Miles was the intended receiver. And this is going to be another 50-plus yard attempt by John Hoyland, it looks like.
That time, Ahmad Hassanin getting to the backfield, disrupting that pass. He's had an excellent season this year as well, second on the team in sacks. And, you know, the numbers aren't there that he wants this season, but he's been really impactful in his defensive line and showing an example right there, forcing a quarterback hurry.
It's going to be 53 yards. He hit from 54, and this is a straight-on kick. This one is no good. He pushed it wide right, just wide right. 2 very close misses by 2 very good field goal kickers, and a 3-0 start still.
Up, some would say unreal, but more like a video game. Take a look at this university coming up with this to help with this Heisman campaign, the number 2, replacing the S. A lot of that because of the video game numbers he's put up. Take a look at it. Everything when it comes to FBS, he's number 1. After tackles, everything you can think of. Again, video game numbers and what we're seeing. That's why when you're talking about that Barry Sanders record, he can get close based on what we've seen so far, guys.
It's amazing. Hey, Brand, I got a question for you. Both coaches were worried about wind. Is there any on the field right now?
Well, you're asking the Florida guy. There's no wind. I guarantee you here. It feels perfectly fine, considering it is a little nippy out here.
Yeah, I like the hat as well. 1st and 10 now outside the 36. Second possession, Boise State. JEANTY 2 carries, 2 yards, and he picks up maybe 3 on that carry. Tyrekus Davis made the stop. This has been a tough year for this Wyoming defense. There's still some playmakers on that side of the ball.
Yeah, number 40, Tice Westland, has been one of the key playmakers on this defense, subbing in for injured players there in the secondary. And he had a career best last week in tackles, 8 tackles in that game. And look for him to be the quarterback spy in this game, as Madsen likes to use his legs when he gets flushed out.
On 2nd and 7, JEANTY breaks through, and JEANTY to the 40. JEANTY's gone. Ashton JEANTY, 61 yards. Blink of an eye. Video game numbers.
My running backs coach in Seattle used to talk about Marshawn. He said The thing I love about Marshawn is on any given play, he can take it to the house. And that's what you love about Ashton Jeanty. You start the game, couple yards. It feels like Wyoming's defense may be doing a great job, and then boom, he takes it 61 to the house. Game breaker.
First 3 carries, not much. This one, 61 yards. And Ashton Jeanty and Boise State's a 7-3 lead. 1,900 yards on the season. And he has number 12 Boise State on top of Wyoming. And yeah, BYU ended up losing that game to Arizona State. Let's go back to the touchdown.
This is all about the offensive line here. We talked about Roger Carey on the top of broadcast coming back. Watch him and Zach Holmes hit the double team up to this linebacker and really open up this crease for Ashton Jeanty to be able to utilize his vision on the cutback. Boom, right there. Then runs behind Ben Dooley there. And then we talked about his acceleration and speed. He's got the game-breaking speed, and this is what NFL scouts love about Ashton Jeanty. Once he gets into the open space, he ain't gonna catch him. He's gonna score.
And Roger Carrion's return tonight is so significant for Boise State. And they hope to get Mason Randolph back at center in a couple of games. Whaley now to the 30. And that makes what Jeanty has done to me even more impressive. That he's been missing 2 of his best offensive linemen for the entire season, and he's still put up incredible numbers.
Yeah, I mean, look how defenses, try to stack the box against him. It doesn't matter. And you talk about how he has the game-breaking speed. He's got 8 of these touchdowns over 60-plus yards. #1 in the country this year. He's been amazing.
Second down at 5. Wyoming has moved the football. They hit a field goal and missed a field goal attempt. Both were over 50 yards. Whaley, flags are down, and Whaley goes down as well after about a 3-yard gain.
Personal foul, hands to the face, defense, number 90. 15-yard penalty, and automatic. First down.
It's Braxton Feely. There he is right there. Braxton Feely. See his right hand right there. Sometimes just a little tough when you're trying to fight off blocks, Rich. Sometimes that hand just slips up high and you get into the face mask.
It's a very talented defensive line. We talked about Virgin Morgan, Ahmed Hassanin, Feely.
I like the approach Wyoming has right now on this drive. Not trying to get it all back. Start off with a couple runs, find some rhythm.
Anderson, Gillenborg, kind of a one-handed throw, and 3 guys knock him over. Gain of just 2. Eric Shenander and his defense has been a nightmare for offensive linemen and quarterbacks. 41 sacks, a lot of hurries, some knockdowns as well. And then last week the turnovers came. 21 points off of 4 turnovers last week.
Yeah, they've been waiting for that all season long to get some takeaways on this defense. And listen, he's the type of coordinator that likes to put his defense in a position to be in attack mode, one of the more blitzing defenses in all of college football.
Just in Boise State territory. And they stay on the ground. And it's Whaley, just 2 yards. It'll bring up a 3rd down and about 5. And Caden Bennett is down for Wyoming and will step aside. 7-3 Boise State.
Remember, trainees, we don't wish for it, we...
For Wyoming, let's hope he's okay. Oh, 72 getting rolled up on. Every lineman's nightmare. So Quinn Grovenstein-Matchie is in. He's a redshirt freshman, and he's got to block Jaden Virgin Morgan. Anderson's throw to the sideline is caught, and Sargent has a 1st down. The line held just long enough for Anderson to get rid of it.
Talked about it at the top of the broadcast. Highlighted Jalen Sargent coming into this game, an emerging player, and a guy that they like to throw the football to down the field. A great example of it right there. Last 2 games, Rich, he came into this game, the last 2 games, 231 yards over the last 2 games receiving. And he's really been a guy that has stepped up in this offense.
You know, there's guys that are starting to emerge for Wyoming. Sargent's one of them. Chris Durd Jr. is another one. Tyler King as well. And Anderson spread the ball around pretty well. This is Whaley to the left side, and he darts out of bounds. That's marked where he is just outside the 10-yard line. Verizon red zone. The national average is 63% on touchdown percentage, and they're just over. Speaking of red zone, for Caden Anderson in the red zone, he hasn't been there all that often. That's the problem for Wyoming. They just haven't been there. They've been good once they get there. They just haven't been there very often.
You know, one of the sneaky things about Caden Anderson's game, Rich, is his ability to use his feet. He's great in the pocket, but he can run in these situations as well.
It's 5 of 8, you see. Almost 70 yards. High snap. Second time he saved a snap. Whaley is spun around, and a flag is down. Devon Banks made the stop. This looks like it might be holding.
Holding. Offense, number 71. 10-yard penalty. And our main second down.
Jake Davies, that left tackle.
Just that right arm kind of spun Virgin Morgan around there. Hard guy to block, I'll tell you that.
No, look, Jaden Virgin Morgan has come a long ways this year. The sophomore edge, 9 sacks, 5 quarterback hurries, 11.5 tackles for loss. He, along with Hassanin, who's usually at the other side at defensive end, those are tackles nightmares. First quarter in the books. Ashton JEANTY a long touchdown run, a field goal for Wyoming, a 7-3 game. Wyoming threatening. We're headed to the second. You're watching college football on CBS Sports Network, presented by 7-3. Boise State on top moments ago. Jay Sawbell with our Brandon Baylor.
Coach, you mentioned to me yesterday that moving the change is something you wanted to see. Your guys doing that so far. What do you see?
Yeah, I mean, we're controlling the pace that we need to control. We got to do a better job on defense on the one play. But we got to get points on this. We got to get a touchdown. But the way that we're working it offensively is what we got to do. We're trying to bleed this clock out and shorten this game down, and that's what we're getting done right now.
All right, appreciate it, Coach.
Thank you.
All right, good stuff there. Faced with 2nd and 14, end zone shot, and a little ambitious with the throw for Justin Stevenson. Well, Brandon had that recipe for an upset and the points that they needed to hit. When you look at the stats, they're doing it with time of possession and total yardage.
Well, that was the key for Wyoming coming into this game, really wanting to control the time of possession. And so far, they're executing their game plan. And obviously, they have to do a better job executing in the red zone. They can't beat themselves. Got to convert on 3rd down. But they are in field goal range, and they're controlling the clock right now.
One of the things they like about Caden Anderson, they say the ball comes out quickly. And so far, no sacks for one of the best in the country, Boise State. This is Farrell up and over, and it looks like he's got the first down. He's really close, 14 yards.
Watch this run by Farrell. Cuts it back to the left. Almost hurdles a defender right there. And just shy, I thought he got the first down, Rich. Just shy of the first down.
That's, I mean, you almost would want to review the spot if you're Wyoming.
I would want the spot reviewed. I would kick this field goal right here, though, Rich. But I understand the call. Nothing to lose right now, and you want to play spoiler alert if you're Wyoming.
They get it off, and Farrell is hit and dropped. I don't know if he got it. We'll see. Andrew Simpson with the hit.
I think he did barely.
And Marco Notriani in there as well.
Now they're going to take a look at it. They're going to measure here. What a run by Farrell to even get down this close, and a gutsy call by Sauvel. I thought they should have kicked the field goal, but I like the call because, look, you're 2-8. You're playing against a team that could make the college football playoff, and you want to play, spoiler alert, it's a Mountain West Conference game, obviously. You got to be able to take chances and take risks in order to beat Boise State.
Well, the football is just inside the 7-yard line.
Oh, this is going to be close.
He did not get it, and Boise State holds.
What a job by the Boise State defense right there. Notriani, one of the more reliable players on this defense. He's played in a lot of different spots. He's got a lot of versatility. Being able to stop him short right there,
Big stop by Boise State's defense. The history, customs, and legacy of the nation's original citizens. Oh, first, this is the 3rd down play.
Huge run by Farrell there. Hurdle to the fence, a nice run.
God, it looked like he had it on that. He was marked short, and on this one,
looked like he had the first down again, Rich, and marked short again. Just depends on where that ball is, where the knee hits. But you know, this is why I thought they should have kicked the field goal. I mean, Boise State, they capitalized on these opportunities.
JEANTY bouncing off tacklers. That's a gain of 8. Through 10 games, the last running backs to win Heisman trophies. Look at how far behind they are from Ashton Jeanty. And look at the yards per carry, 7.4 yards per carry for JEANTY.
It's interesting that most of those yards have come after contact.
And he now has 27 touchdowns with a 61-yard run from the 15 after an 8-yard pickup. JEANTY again, big hole, races through it. JEANTY upended at the 37, lands about the 40, and JEANTY with 24 yards on that carry.
This offensive line, Rich, I mean, they're just moving guys off of the line of scrimmage with ease, and you know, Ashton Jeanty is able to just burst through those creases there for big gains.
JEANTY is 2 yards shy of 100. Dirk Cutter. Madsen rolling, pressured, fires it out of bounds.
Good decision there by Madsen. Just throw that football away. Good coverage in the back end. I mean, you see it there. Everybody's covered. Boom, covered there, covered there. He's coming across. He can't see him right now, but there's a safety coming down. He's also covered, so just got to throw that football away in that situation, and that's what they love about Maddox Madsen, just his decision making, right? If it's not there, he's not trying to force anything. He's going to take what the defense gives him.
Yeah, 19 touchdowns and 3 interceptions is pretty elite. Madsen setting up a little center screen, and it's going nowhere. Lauder with his first catch, Matt Lauder, the junior tight end. He's the other guy that might be an NFL tight end in this game, Ian Gillenborg.
Oh, he'll be playing at the next level for sure. But, you know, interesting couple calls there by Dirk Cutter in this offense. Ashton Jeanty in this offensive line really rolling on the ground to start this drive. And, you know, you like to play action on first down, but, you know, now you're in a 3rd and long situation. And look at this 3rd down position. One of the best teams in college football on 3rd down.
Facing the best 3rd down defense in the Mountain West and one of the best in the country as well. Madsen's throw high, and even though Strawn is 6'5" and got some hops, he couldn't haul it in. There's a flag down back near the line of scrimmage. Isaac White in coverage.
Madsen stepping up in the pocket.
After the play, personal foul. Offense, number 62. That 50-yard throw got forced from the previous pod. Pass is incomplete. 4th down.
That's Roger Carrion, who's in his first action. If you're just joining us, it's a huge ad for Boise State's offensive line.
Spencer Danielson, give him a little talk. Hey, keep your composure, right? I know you're excited, first game back, but hey, keep your nerves down, keep your composure out there.
James Ferguson Reynolds is a very good directional punter, but Spencer Danielson wants more distance out of him. The Aussie can put it where he wants it. It's a fake, and he's going to hit a line drive punt up the field. It's picked up and fielded there. Now, when you play Aussie rules, and he played at a really high level, that's a walk in the park. That's a terrific punt. 46 yards on the punt. Not a fake? Nah. 7 PS Sports Network. So they're looking for some hang time out of their Aussie punter. This is a creative way to get it because the offensive line gets down there and the gunners get down there and the punt goes 46 yards.
Yeah, usually in a rugby punt situation, you're trying to give your guys time to get down the field, and they executed that one beautifully to be able to change the field position.
So if you can't hang it high, run around, let the gunners go, and then kick it.
He looked like he was going to run it, though, at first.
Yeah. Anderson pulls it, and Anderson's loose. And then really loose. He lost his balance after a 24-yard run.
Well, I told you in that red zone situation, in their last possession, he doesn't run the football a lot, but he has the ability and the athleticism to use his feet and just hit a flat tire there down the field after he got some yards after the first down.
The ground cannot cause a fumble, but it can tackle you at times. Jay Johnson, the offensive coordinator. Wyoming has moved the football. If you're just joining us, heavy favorites, the number 12 team in the country, Boise State, here in Laramie. Wyoming's won just 2 games all year. Anderson play action. Got a man deep, and he is caught at the 3. Sargent again.
Wow. How about the junior from Logan, Utah, Rich? I know a few things about that place. Coming up big again, play action. And you can see how it halts the safeties there from being able to get back and help. Here's number 7, Amarion McCoy, one-on-one coverage. And nice adjustment to the football there by Sargent, being able to locate it, come back to it, and make a spectacular catch.
3 catches, 81 yards for Sargent. On the doorstep now is Wyoming. 1st and goal. Whoa! They've had 3 close calls with snaps, and if Anderson doesn't have good hands, at least 2 of those turn into fumbles.
They've had snap issues. This play was going to go to Tyler King on the fly sweep. Try to get on the edge. They've had some snap issues all season long. You can see Caden Anderson just lose his eyes on the football there.
It's a good point. I think he took his eye off that.
Yeah. Before catching it, you got to catch the football first.
JEANTY wants the football back. He's gone for 98, but Wyoming's on the doorstep. 2nd and goal. Anderson will throw it. Fires. Caught. Stevenson, touchdown.
Justin Stevenson able to find some space on the edge on this little pick play that they run with these 2 wide receivers right to your screen. Nice job catching the football first, cutting back, breaking a tackle, and fighting his way into the end zone. Huge for Wyoming to get back into the red zone, and this time converted to the end zone for a score.
There is a history on this field when Boise State arrives with a high ranking. They arrive at number 12 in the country here, huge favorites, and Wyoming with a redshirt freshman quarterback who scampers for 20, sets up the Stevenson touchdown. Call by their coordinator, Jay Johnson.
Excellent. So he's going to run this flat route here. What's going to happen is he's going to act like he's going to come in the pick and then break back out on what we call a whip route. That causes Amarion McCoy, who's in man coverage, to overrun the route. And then he's able to catch that football, cut back, and a little dance, a little something in the end zone there to celebrate. They like what they're doing right now offensively, Rich.
Boy, a lot of the things that, and we go back to Brandon Baylor's report at the start of the game. heavy favorites is Boise State. So what's the recipe for Wyoming to hang in there and upset them? Well, time of possession, check. They're in front there. They're outgaining them. They're controlling tempo as well. We are in the Mountain West tonight. Wyoming on top. Let's take a tour around. How about New Mexico? Big improvement this year. They took down Washington State last week. That's a terrific win. UNLV's now 9-2. It was soggy and it wasn't easy, but they beat San Jose State last night. And Colorado State, who's coming up next against Fresno State, tries to stay undefeated in the Mountain West. This is Boise State's final conference game, and remember, 7 conference games this year because of the addition to Oregon State and Washington State into the scheduling model. JEANTY for 4, Jaden Williams, one of 2 Jadens, not JY, but JD. 11 consecutive 100-yard games now for Ashton JEANTY. And he hasn't done it on a whole lot of carries. That's just his 8th of the night.
Yeah, had that 161-yarder that went to the house in the first quarter, and they're going to continue to ride that way the rest of the game.
2nd and 6. JEANTY was upended, and then Jaden Williams, JD, got a hand on him. 2
plays in a row now. Jaden Williams has come up big. He's starting in place of the injured Jordan Bertinoli, who's one of the leaders of this defense. Ben Florentine getting into the action as well. That's number 94. But Jaden Williams had a career day in tackles last week and forces a huge 3rd down for this Wyoming defense.
There's 2 Jaden Williams on that defensive line. J-A-Y-D-E-N, J-Y 98, and J-A-D-E-N, J-D 91. 3rd and 7. Madsen to throw. He's going to keep it. Oh, he is stood up by Shea Suianoa, and he's well short of the 1st down. Suianoa squared him up pretty good. It's a gain of 1.
Haven't seen this a lot from Wyoming. They line up both linebackers in the A-gap, and they bring both guys on a blitz. Nice job by Ashton JEANTY stepping up in there and pass protection. Madsen tries to use his legs, but Shea Suianoa, one of the better tackling defensive backs on this team, able to make that play.
Caleb Cooley is deep. This time a line drive missile punt. That's a terrific kick inside the 10. Ferguson Reynolds, no hang time there, but he didn't need it. He just kicked it right by, and you can see the emotions of the Aussie. Jalen Sargent, some big catches tonight.
Well, they're looking to get him involved early. There it is on the short route, getting the ball out quickly. Sideline route on the corner, and then this one was the huge one. A deep throw where he's able to make the adjustment in the catch, which led to a touchdown for Wyoming. And they're really excited about his future on this ball club. 3 catches, 81 yards already. A strong start to this game.
Jay Savell in his 1st year. There's a look at Jay Johnson, his 1st-year offensive coordinator. Came over from Michigan State. Backed up. And Whaley escapes the 1st hit. Out across the 10 to the 11. Ty Benefield the stop, 4 yards on the carry. And again, you watch that play clock, and Robert, you brought it up very early in this game. Wyoming wants to take the play clock down under 5 all night long and take as much time off the clock, keep the ball in their possession as they can.
They're going to take their time. They're going to huddle up. They want to keep this offense for Boise State on the sideline. Ashton JEANTY, they don't want him getting a whole lot of opportunities in this game.
This time it was at 8. And this time Whaley busts loose. And this is what Eric Shenander was talking about, the defensive coordinator of Boise State. He said, look, Whaley is a game-breaking running back. He can cause us some headaches.
Well, let's not forget now, he was one of the top running backs in the Mountain West last season, and he has been over the course of his career. He's got explosive speed. He's another guy that can break tackles really well. First guy is not going to be able to get Harrison Whaley down. He's knocking off the rust, obviously, from not being able to play all season long. Each week he's growing.
12 yards on that carry. And again, play clock down under 5. 4-man rush. Anderson Whaley a catch, and he's immediately caught. Looked like Oladipo on the tackle.
But again, you recognize now on these passing plays, Wyoming, they just want to get the ball out quick. Harrison Whaley, one of the parts about his game is being able to catch the ball out of the backfield. They like to utilize him in those spots as well.
Under 6 minutes left, first half. This game's gone quickly, and that's to Wyoming's benefit and by design.
And what Wyoming wants to do is, I mean, they'd love to be able to run down the clock all the way to halftime if they can with the football.
Going to need some first downs along the way. That's Farrell. No, Triani made the stop.
Yep, no Triani, there he is right there, right in the middle of the defense. High IQ player, studies a lot of film, and he just read that play, being able to get that stop there for a short gain. And he's a leader of this team, man. Plays a lot on defense, plays a lot on special teams as well.
And he's the green dot with Tubner out. He's the green dot that gets Eric Shenander in his ear and gets the defense set. They're down in 8. Boy, Tubner's the guy that they missed defensively. Also, Andrew Simpson out tonight as well. Anderson almost on his back. Gillenborg the catch, but he's caught right at the line of scrimmage. And Wyoming's going to have to punt deep in their own territory here. Boise State should get good field position, and a reminder, Boise State gets the football to start the second half.
Hard team to run screens on, but a good call there by Jay Johnson, understanding that Boise State does like to blitz, particularly on third down. They're able to get some pressure on that play, but they're able to sniff out that screen pass to Gillenborg and stop it for no gain, forcing a punt.
Jack Colbreth has been used a lot. This is his 59th punt of the year. Fair catch. Cooper Jones makes it right at the 37-yard line. So many directions you can go with Ashton Jeanty in this incredible year that he's having. Barry Sanders, of course, 2,296. Sanders only had 11 games, or 2,628. Through 11 games, he had a bowl game, but back then they didn't count the bowl game. So Jeanty's going to get a lot of opportunities. Oregon State next week, Mountain West Championship if they win this game. So
Barry Sanders was just crazy good, man. Those numbers are incredible.
Madsen fires. That's Cameron Camper with the catch. And that looks like a first down. Keone Parks made the stop. 11-yard gain.
Cameron Camper is one of these guys on the offense, doesn't get a lot of attention because obviously of the run game for Boise State, but you know, he's one of the guys that can really make big plays, game-breaking plays for this offense down the field.
He had a knee injury last year at Indiana. He didn't play in the spring or in the summer and was limited in the fall. Jeanty left side. Suianoa the first to hit him. It's a gain of only 1.
Give credit to this defense now for Wyoming. They've been able to bottle up Ashton Jeanty. Not the entire game, obviously, but they've had a little bit of success. It's hard to defend this run attack for Boise State. A nice gain right there. A nice play right there by the defense.
Madsen surveying, scrambling, and throwing, and that's out of bounds. It's a good effort there by Matt Wagner, the redshirt freshman tight end. This puts him in 3rd down and 9.
Another one of these play-action crossing routes.
Whoa! He dropped it, though. I was watching the feet. The ball did pop loose. Aaron Bull, remember, he's talked about the teams that have had some success in slowing Jeanty down, get some penetration with that defensive line, and that's happened a bit tonight.
This is where they have to win, though. 3rd downs.
Madsen in trouble, caught and dropped. Suianoa. Wow. Boy, he made like 4 big plays on this drive. That's a loss of 10.
And I'll tell you what, this is something you don't see a lot from Boise State. Maddox Madsen doesn't get sacked a lot. There's Suianoa right there. They line up the linebackers again in the A-gap. A little confusion between the offensive line and Ashton Jeanty, who's got who. And Shea Suianoa is able to break free and get the sack. This is a guy who started his career as a will linebacker, weak side guy, transitioned to the mic, making all of the calls, and he's really exceeded in his career.
To your point, just the 10th sack allowed by this offensive line. Ferguson Reynolds runs to the side, end over end punt, and a fair catch called for and made. Cowboys backed up in their own end. 2 minutes, 10 seconds left, first half, and Wyoming a surprising 10-7 lead. Verizon halftime report right around the bend. Brent Stover, Kevin Carter, Cardale Jones get you caught up with all the games. And I'm sure they're going to talk about Boise State and that 4 seed in the college football playoff. And the good news for Bronco fans today, Colorado went down at Kansas. BYU went down at Arizona State.
Big time news for Boise State. They could get that bye now, the college football playoff, but they got their hands full right now against Wyoming.
Hey, they got to win too, and that's what Spencer Danielson has been preaching all along is, hey man, we can't look at that stuff. We just got to keep winning. There's a slide out to the 17-yard line by Anderson. 2-minute timeout. First half surprise here. Wyoming 10-7. Wyoming on top. Reminder, group of 5 to get to the college football playoff. You have to be a champion of your league. And here are your top group of 5 teams.
Yeah, these guys have had excellent seasons. I mean, Army undefeated this year. They're losing right now, though, to Notre Dame. Big time game for them. You like what Colorado State's been able to do this season, although they've avoided having to play UNLV and Boise State. But we'll see how it shakes out at the end, Rich.
I think UNLV is going to move up a spot or 2 or 3 with a road win at San Jose State. Ball control is what Wyoming wanted to do, and so far they've done it. This is an interesting spot here. It's 2nd down and 9. The Broncos have all 3 of their timeouts, and you know they're going to use them if it is beneficial and they think they can get the ball back. Farrell, right side, and he's out to the 17-yard line. And there's timeout number 1.
Yeah, if you're Boise, you want to call timeout here to try to preserve as much time possible to get the ball back.
All right, 30-second timeout in Laramie.
Right here in America, Kubota is turning ingenuity into equipment. It's a lineup built to serve the thousands of communities we're a part of. By turning fields into farms, dirt into subdivisions, land into legacies. In here, we build equipment the right way, so you can build a better life out there.
So there's the first timeout. It's 3rd down and 7 now. If you're Wyoming and you throw it and it's incomplete, you're handing a timeout to Boise State.
I think you do throw it here, though, Rich. I think this has to be a sticks play, what we call a sticks play, meaning that your routes have to be at the 1st down marker in order to convert. I think you got to look for Sargent or Gillenborg in this situation.
Wiley in the backfield. Let's see if the Broncos bring heat. Yes, they do. Gets rid of it. Throw is behind the receiver, Sargent, and it's incomplete. And Anderson was under great duress, and that's what Boise State does better than every team, but I guess Ole Miss, and that is get to the quarterback and hurry him.
Yeah, just a little stopper. I think what happened there was Caden Anderson was expecting Sargent to just turn around there at the sticks, and he ended up drifting inside a bit. And so that ball ended up being behind him there.
And the incompletion hands Boise State essentially a timeout with 1:50 left. Colbreth, high spiral. Jones in a crowd. A fair catch at the 42. If you're just joining us, Ashton Jeanty has been terrific tonight. 9 carries, 103 yards. And a lot on that 61-yard touchdown.
Yeah, he's been hard to tackle per usual, yards after contact, but this offensive line has done a great job really dominating up front and moving guys off of the line of scrimmage, creating huge holes for Ashton Jeanty to run through.
Jeanty, that unique stance in the backfield, 1st and 10. Madsen looking, firing, caught there. That's Caples. And Caples has got the first down. They're running tempo here. Clock stops until they set the chains. 12 yards on that connection.
Nice job by Madsen there, just sitting in the pocket, finding a window in the defense and completing the pass there.
Madsen fires, sideline, on target. That's Camper with the catch. And that's a sizable gain. Now they're inside field goal range, but obviously their target is the end zone. 19 on that hookup.
And it's the anticipation by Maddox Madsen. He throws that football before Cameron Camper is even out of his break on that out route. Being able to complete another pass there makes it hard for the defense. When you anticipate like that in the pocket, it makes it hard for the defense to be able to break on the football and make a play.
This is a huge opportunity to swing this game for Boise State. If they can score here, they get the ball to start the third quarter.
They've got to get into the backfield and get some pressure there if you're Wyoming.
Matz's throw, that's behind Strawn. And Tyrekus Davis on the coverage.
Isaac White came on the blitz there. Number 42 on that left side of the defense, but good coverage. It's number 12, Tyrekus Davis. We asked defensive coordinator Aaron Bull, who's your best cover corner? Well, there it is, number 12, Tyrekus Davis, showing up right there. Big time play on first down.
Second down 10. Madsen throwing, steps up, fires it again. It's Camper, and Camper is out of bounds inside the 10, marked at the 5, 23 yards.
You know, one of the things Dirk Cutter talked about in terms of Maddox Madsen was his ability, his pocket presence. See some pressure coming off of the edge, and he just steps up in the pocket as we see Cameron Camper make another play there for a first down. He just steps up in the pocket, delivers an accurate football, and that's what makes him so good.
Yeah, very good in the red zone. You would think it's JEANTY time here. JEANTY left side, and Wyoming stuffs him. Ethan Day in the middle of it.
So for Boise State right now, no need to be in a rush. You've got 2 timeouts.
Would you call a timeout if you're Wyoming?
Wyoming, I think, with 3 timeouts, can start to use some timeouts here. But I think because they're up 10-7, they like to go into the half with the lead, so they're more focused on getting the stop as opposed to getting the ball back.
Caples in motion in front of JEANTY. Madsen's heading drops back at the 14. Devon Harris. It's a loss of 8.
Wyoming wants to let that clock run, but a timeout by Boise State. Devon Harris, there he is, number 93 right there, playing on the edge.
He's been hurt a lot this year. They've missed him. He's an impact guy when he's playing.
Yeah, able to beat Ben Dooley and get in there for the sack. Second one of the night for Wyoming. I said it here on this drive. I said the one thing they got to do, they got to find a way to get pressure on the quarterback now. And right there, they're able to do it for a sack. Nice job.
So you got 3rd and goal now from just outside the 12. As we talked about, they'd only given up 9 coming in, 2 last week.
And 2 tonight as well. There's coach talking to Wyatt Eckler there, one of the leaders of this defense, Jay Sawbell. You know, he's fired up. A huge opportunity for Wyoming right now to get a stop.
Wyoming calls a timeout. Gives them a chance to reset their defense.
That's one of those timeouts there. We call that Kodak, where you come out of the timeout, you see what the offense is going to line up in.
So that's a photo opportunity, a Kodak moment.
Then you can adjust on defense.
Let's go down to Brandon Baylor. Brandon?
Hey, Rich, I had a chance to spend some time on Wyoming side. You can see the energy is definitely different from the start of the game, but a message that has been echoed throughout the bench: stay locked in. We're seeing that on both sides of the ball, but that has been echoed since that Stevenson touchdown, and of course, we're seeing it now here on 3rd down.
Thank you, Brandon. This is certainly one of Wyoming's best halves of the season. They come in at 2-8. JEANTY's in the backfield. 3rd and goal. But the football
There's
right
Camper,
at the 12.
Camper at the bottom of your screen there. He's been huge on this drive.
Madsen with time. Little short toss. Wagner the catch, but he's captured. The clock is running.
And Wyoming wants that clock to run. Really good tackle to keep that.
And it's 4th down right now. They're going to take it down and kick the field goal, you would think.
Take it down, call timeout, kick the field goal.
This feels like a win, a big win for Wyoming.
Huge. I mean, Boise State drove all the way down the field. They got into the red zone. Madsen is 15 touchdowns, no interceptions in the red zone this season, so they get a stop. Huge for Wyoming, huge. Now, we know Boise State, they've got a few tricks up their sleeve. Have to be disciplined here if you're Wyoming on this field goal.
Jonah Dalmas missed, but it was a long, well over 50-yard attempt earlier in this game. He hit it long enough, he just missed it. He is at 90. The all-time record is 97. This is a 24-yarder.
He had one miss San Jose State last week. He's got a miss tonight. This one right here should be a layup.
And Wyoming calls a timeout.
Nice, the kicker there.
You can only do it once.
It's not cold enough tonight.
A reminder of what's at stake for Boise State tonight. Colorado State at Fresno State follows our game here on CBS Sports Network. But if the Broncos get to 7-0, well, they're in the Mountain West Championship game. If it's a tie, if they're tied with Colorado State record-wise, then you go with a computer ranking. It feels like Boise State would win that battle, right?
Absolutely.
Even if they somehow drop a game next week to Oregon State. But obviously they got to win this game here. Dalmas, and a line drive kick goes through. This an entertaining, gets the football to start here in the second. Dylan Riley is deep. That's a late cannon shot, and Riley drops the ball to the 10, and he's knocked out of bounds. That's almost a late hit as well. I don't see a flag yet. Two things there. The cannon went off as the ball was about to be caught. Okay, the ball's out. Did he go to? No, he just picks it right up.
That's close.
That's very close.
A late hit right there.
I think Wyoming gets a break.
I do think the cannon might have distracted him from catching that football right there, though, Rich.
No, he's a lot closer to the cannon than we are. 13-yard line now to start the second half. Maddox Madsen. Ashton JEANTY straight ahead, and down below to Brandon Baylor. Well, a flag interrupts the flow, and JEANTY is down. So hold on. He's been playing with that elbow brace since the UNLV game, and he hops back up. JEANTY's coming to the sideline right now. He is the most used running back in all of college football, and it's not even close. Last 5 games, he's averaging.
Offense, number 62. Half the distance to the goal and remain first down.
JEANTY's averaging 32 carries a game the last 5. That's high usage. And you heard the call. It's a face mask on the offense. This backs the Broncos up to the 6-yard line.
That's Roger Carrion again. A couple penalties now in this football game, and hadn't played, since week 1 against Oregon. So, you can imagine now knocking off some of that rust as he's trying to find his groove within this offense again.
Breezy's in. Jan-Breeze Dubar at running back. They get the down back, but they lose the yardage. 1st and 17. And an on-target throw. That's Camper with the catch. That's 11 yards. This is the UNLV run where he injured that left elbow going down right there. He went into the tent, remember, and then came out the second half with a big brace on it. He's back on the field, which is great news. And so that elbow is pretty much worn that brace now since UNLV.
JEANTY's a tough football player, man. I love his toughness.
Only 11 carries. Little inside screen there to Austin Bolts, and Wyoming sniffs it out. It's a gain of maybe 3. It's going to bring up a 3rd down, and here we go with that 3rd down scenario again. Last week against San Jose State.
Tied at halftime at San Jose State, 14-14. Able to pull away in that second half, looking to do the same thing here, but 3rd down, they're 0 for 5 tonight. The difference is this is a 3rd and short situation, Rich. They've been in a lot of 3rd and long situations. Much easier opportunity. Wyoming's got to get pressure.
One of the best in the country at 3rd down, but tonight a struggle. JEANTY in motion. Madsen looking for a short pattern, escapes, and Madsen scrambles and dives and has the 1st down at the 26-yard line. Connor Shea made the stop.
Yeah, he's feeling a little bit of pressure on his right side and able to escape there. This is what Madsen can do. He has this ability to use his legs. He's got good escapability. They really needed that to convert on 1st down, keep the chains moving.
We talked about all the people that Boise State are missing, injury-wise. Wyoming's missing 3 starting defensive linemen. Jordan Bertinoli, Braden Siders, Sebastian Harsh, but they've played well up front. 1st and 10, JEANTY. And to the 30, 3 men have to haul him down, and we check in now with Brandon Baylor.
Yeah, Rich, going into the half, I had a chance to speak to Salvell about what he thought about getting those 3 points there on the board, and said, you know what, I'll break even, as opposed to taking that deficit there of possibly giving up the touchdown. On top of that, he said the recipe so far is paying off. Kind of laughed at me a little bit. Outside of that, Danielson said going in, the message was just to do your job and seize the moment, something he mentioned to us yesterday. So we'll see how Boise does in this second half.
All right, thank you, Brandon. JEANTY now over 2,000 yards, 2001. Madsen rolling out, man wide open. Lauter with the ball. And Matt Lauter is knocked out of bounds close to midfield, 19 yards. They haven't really targeted him much tonight, but he's been a favorite target of Madsen's all year.
Watch number 4, watch this defender here. He gets lost on the play action. He's manned up on the tight end. He gets faked out, and there's his man running wide open. That's number 2, Rook Brown. That's his responsibility. A nice play action call that time from Boise. And Madsen able to find his target there for a big 1st down.
Just shy of midfield. JEANTY slides through. Picks up a good chunk of yardage there. White makes the stop. That's 8 more yards for Ashton JEANTY.
Exactly what you wanted coming out of halftime. If you're Boise State, getting the ball to Ashton JEANTY on the ground, he's being productive, being able to utilize your play action pass off of it and find open targets down the field. This is the flow that Boise likes to play with. Over 2,000 yards this season for Ashton JEANTY.
Dubar back in, JEANTY out, and this is Dubar. Flag goes down, and that from the referee behind the play. And we'll see what the call is.
Holding. Offense, number 88. 10-yard penalty. They remain 2nd down.
Matt Wagner coming into your picture.
Yep, there's Matt Wagner, a short blocker on this offense. That time just got caught there with the hold.
5 penalties, 51 yards, though, for Boise State in this ball game.
Uncharacteristic, yeah, uncharacteristic for Boise State. This many penalties. I mean, 5 penalties is not a lot for a game, but it's a lot for Boise State.
Dubar still in there. 2nd down and 12. 3-man rush, lots of time. Madsen fires sideline and high and incomplete. Caples, the intended receiver.
That was Kenny Parks, or Keani Parks, excuse me, on the coverage that time. Good physical player, nice tackler. They've been having some success on that out route, that sideline route there to Camper. They tried to go back to it, just misses high that time.
Again, we talk about Boise State so good on 3rd down, and the flip side at Wyoming, even though they've won only 2 games, they're the best 3rd down defense in the Mountain West. Boise just converted their 1st.
And back into a 3rd and long makes it tough to convert on 3rd downs, Rich.
Madsen fires low. Is it caught? Chase Penry, and it's called incomplete.
I think Madsen tried to aim it a little bit that time. He had an open target there in the window and just didn't get really his feet under him and missed low that time. And another third down stop for this Wyoming defense.
James Ferguson Reynolds has been the most creative punter we've seen this year. He had an RPO earlier, which was a run punt option, it seemed like. And he walks it over to the right side and then sends it end over end. And Wyoming is backed up. That punt game's been really good for Boise State tonight. 10-10.
In the third quarter, if you're taking a look at the offensive unit for Wyoming, it's a different quarterback. Evan Svoboda taking over now. Caden Anderson actually went in right before they kicked that field goal before the half. I asked Coach, was there an update? He said they would reevaluate him, but he never came out of the locker room, guys. So Evan is taking over back in that QB1 spot.
All right, good heads up there, Brandon. Now, Svoboda is a very different type of quarterback. Big, strong arm and a punishing runner. A guy that at his size, at 6'5", 245. His completion percentage this year, 47%, 4 touchdowns, 7 picks. And remember, he's been lining up at tight end tonight. He had to take off the tight end gloves and the pads, and here he goes in a big spot. Wyoming get their own 9-yard line. And Svoboda will hand it off, and Whaley bounces outside. Nice job by Boise State, though. Devon Banks was there to keep contained. First half possessions. Now, time is the big one because they wanted to bleed the clock. They want to shorten this game, and they succeeded in doing so.
And that's not going to change now that Evan Svoboda is in the football game. You know, the good thing is that it's almost like a new game, right? 10-10 at halftime. You're getting the first drive of the second half, and you know he can do all the things that Caden Anderson can do. He'll probably run more because he has that ability. A lot more read zone you'll see from Svoboda, but the game plan won't change for Wyoming offensively.
See that play clock down around 3. Svoboda can do this, and at his size, if you try to tackle him, he'll push you forward. That's only a 3-yard gain, though. And so they're sitting at third down. He's going to have to be able to throw the football, you would expect.
Oh, 100%. But see, that's the difference right there. See, Caden Anderson, they're not going to run quarterback draw with Caden Anderson. But with Evan Svoboda, because of his running ability, they'll do that. Now they're in the third and manageable spot here. And you want to give Svoboda an opportunity here to be able to utilize his arm or legs.
Let's go down to Brandon quickly. Brandon.
Just got an update on Caden Anderson. He's in concussion protocol, guys. I don't remember actually when it happened, but that's what I've been told by the team, in concussion protocol for Caden Anderson.
All right, thank you, Brandon. 3rd down and 3 with Svoboda at the controls here. Again, quarterback drawn. Boise gets there and gets him. Oladipo coming off the edge with a big play, a loss of 1.
You know, I think you run quarterback draw there on 2nd down. Give Evan Svoboda an opportunity to throw this football. You know, do all of the same things that you were doing with Caden Anderson. You become a little bit predictable now when Evan Svoboda comes into the game and he becomes a vocal point of your run game. Your running backs have been doing a nice job. Continue to hand that football off.
Cooper Jones is deep. And a high spiraling punt. Fair catch called for. And Boise State winning the field position battle here. They have it right at midfield in a 10-10 game. The dreams of the Broncos of getting into the college football playoffs. You have to be the conference champion. And the Broncos with a win tonight get themselves in the championship game. But they got to win, and it's Wyoming who just won't go away in this one. JEANTY trying to get outside, cuts back, flags down. Flag down back at the 47, and now JEANTY is down.
Holding. Offense. Number 62. 10-yard penalty. Remain 1st down.
Let's carry on again. And here's JEANTY.
Again, he's the most he's the most hit running back in the country because of his ability to break tackles. He gets hit more often that way, and the Broncos have really used him in the last 5 games more than any running back has been used across college football. 32 carries a game. The next closest, 27.8 carries a game. Taj Brooks of Texas Tech. Dubar is in. Little play action, throw back, and it's incomplete. So here's, I mean, look, this is game 11, right? So if you take a look at his usage first 5 games, now some of that's because there were some blowouts and such,
sure,
but he had some big games with low carry totals. Now teams have been loading the box. Mountain West teams have done a pretty good job of scouting him, and so now to get the yardage, he's had to climb into the lower 30s on carries. Madsen stepping up, sends one over the middle, and Camper, let's see if he got it. He did. Nice catch at the 49, and that's a first down, 12 yards on Madsen to Camper. Camper having a nice night tonight.
That's that same throw that he missed on 3rd down on the last drive.
My bad. With the penalty, I was looking at the wrong stick, so it is 3rd down and 8.
Able to complete it that time, but again, another 3rd down and long situation. 1 for 7 tonight. A huge opportunity again for Wyoming.
Crows in the backfield, 4-man rush, flags are down. Madsen's hit and spun and dropped and sacked. Tice Westland got to him, but there's a flag down right at the line of scrimmage from the near side line judge, and this feels like it's going against Wyoming. It's a loss of 7 here.
I think they might have had a defender lined up off sides.
Yeah, he is
Offside.
lined up. That's the nearest corner.
Zone. Defense, number 12. 5-yard penalty. Main 3rd down.
That's an easy call.
You know, he's an aggressive corner, likes to play up tight in press coverage. Hard to do that when you got a wide receiver playing off the line of scrimmage. You got to be aware of where you are when you line up.
They're down 3. Got to get to the 41.
Much more manageable 3rd down yardage here for Boise State. Last time they were in a 3rd and 3, they converted.
And no JEANTY, it's Tyler Crow in the backfield. Crow is a hard runner, but he runs into a brown wall and gets nothing.
I think you go for it here if you're Boise State.
4th and 3. Does not having JEANTY affect that play call?
No, you have confidence in Madsen because he can utilize his legs as well. There's weapons at tight end, wide receiver. This is a versatile offense, but the ball has to be in Maddox Madsen's hands right here on this 4th down play.
And on this 4th down play, JEANTY is now in the tent.
They may try to draw him off sides here.
They've hit on 12 of the last 13 4th down opportunities. Madsen play action, maybe a deep shot. Fires and it's incomplete. Camper was trying to get deep, but Tyrekus Davis stayed with him. And so Madsen chose the short route, and Wyoming with a huge 4th down hold.
Well, they decide to leave Matt Lauder in for a blocking and not on a route. Great job by the Wyoming defense getting a stop.
Challenge jerseys around town. If you're just joining us, Caden Anderson, who started the first half for Wyoming at quarterback, and a throw by Evan Swoboda is caught there by Justin Stevenson. Anderson did not come out of the locker room for the second half. We've looked for a possible hit or an incident. That's the one that we found that was in the tail end of the first half.
I mean, he did get hit in the head right there, Rich. That's right there at the end of the half. That's probably what caused the concussion.
And for Wyoming, trying to get Swoboda some rhythm, that throw is a nice start because he needs to throw the ball successfully, I think, for Wyoming to win.
Yeah, well, that's how they started the game out with Caden Anderson. Some runs, some play action, quick throws. Do the same thing with Swoboda.
Straight up the middle. Farrell has the first down to the 45-yard line of Boise State.
And what Wyoming would like to do here as we get to the 5-minute mark here in the 3rd quarter is control the clock like they've been doing all game. I mean, if they could finish with the football at the end of the quarter, they'd love to do that, as Ashton JEANTY now out of the tent on the sideline, talking to one of his coaches there. But Wyoming's going to continue to take their time and still take some deep shots when the opportunity is there, Rich. I think they need to do that.
One thing Swoboda has is a strong arm, so he can get it down the field. And a timeout. Play clock was just about to expire on 1st and 10. With a timeout here, hey, why not an update? Let's go back to New York. Brent Stover, what you got?
Rich, I got a game in Norman that's tied at 3 in the final minute of the first half with Xavier Robinson on an 18-yard touchdown run on the pylon. At the break, Oklahoma leads number 7 Alabama 10-3, guys.
All right, thank you, Brent. 10-10 here. If you've just joined us, this is a surprise. Boise State right now 4th in the current CFP poll because they would be the 4th-ranked conference champion. The teams below them in the Big 12, 2 key teams lost today. BYU lost, Colorado lost. That's good news for Boise State, but that comes with an enormous caveat if they're able to win tonight and keep it rolling.
Yeah, Wyoming's keeping it close. That's a bad timeout, though, Rich, right there. You don't want to be burning timeouts here in the second half against Boise State.
Apparently a Miami fan in the house tonight. And Farrell popped a couple times. He is a hard runner, 5'8", 200. He's sort of a mini turbo, right?
Well, he's quick to the, he's got quick feet. He can accelerate. Broke for a 62-yard run last week against Colorado State. They really love his low center of gravity. Showed an example of it right there, taking on a couple hits and still falling forward.
Evan Swoboda's thrown 1 pass. He completed it on this drive for 7 yards. Second down, 7 here. Swoboda going to keep it. Nice move. Diving, lost his footing. 36-yard line, short of the first down by a couple. It's 5 yards.
This is what you love about Swoboda. Just able to make that tackle there. Amarion McCoy. But he's a big guy, can break tackles. And you're in a 3rd and short situation. I think what we're going to see here is a read zone, and so Swoboda's going to take the snap. He's either going to hand the football off to Farrell or keep it himself, depending on what the defensive end does there.
3rd down and 2. That's a first down, and Farrell's got it. That's 4 tough yards. Zion Washington the stop, 3 yards on the carry. Aiden Anderson was really good in that first half. He was hit a few times. And of course, as Brandon reported, concussion protocol when he went in at halftime. He's not come back out of the locker room. So Swoboda, who was the starter to begin the year, lost the job about 3 games ago. Called upon here in a big spot in a 10-10 game against the number 12 team in the country. But Wyoming always seems to play Boise State on this field tough. Play action. Swoboda steps up. Oh, is he blistered there? Max Steege from his defensive end spot. It's a loss of 6.
Max Steege actually spotted by Danielson at a Texas showcase. Look at the coverage down the field. Boom, boom, boom. All of these guys covered. It's a coverage sack right there, but I think Swoboda's got to let that thing go and give his wide receivers a chance to make a 50-50 ball catch there. But nice job by Steege getting the sack.
Caden Barnett, who went out of the game in the first half, the right tackle, is out again after that play. Jamari Farrell in the backfield. Now it's 2nd down and 16. Sargent in motion. And not much going as Boise State really, with Swoboda in there now, seems to be just keying on the run. I mean, they're selling out for the run, whether it's a quarterback draw or simply Farrell straight up the middle.
Yeah, I think Eric Chenander, defensive coordinator for Boise State, kind of sensing Wyoming not wanting to throw the football too much with Swoboda, therefore stacking the box. And I think here on this 3rd down, you're behind the sticks, you run this football here, try to get in better field goal position and take 3 points.
Although John Hoyland has the distance to hit it if they don't gain any yardage here. It would be a long one. Swoboda has time here, fires to the sideline, and there's nobody there. It's incomplete. Chris Durr, the intended receiver.
Yeah, I got to kick this field goal here.
Well, nobody's coming on. Here comes a special team unit. Hoyland, as I noted, has 7 career field goals over 50 yards.
And they got to have a sense of urgency here. The play clock's going down. They've already learned the timeout.
This is the punter that's coming on. So they may not mind taking a delay of game here to give him a little more cushion to try to pin it in.
Yeah, if they were kicking this field goal, you might want to have more of a sense of urgency, want to flip the field position here instead.
Kind of end-over-end kick. Fair catch called for and made at the 10. Ashton JEANTY looks like he's ready to roll again, which is good news for number 12, Boise State. He's over 2,000 yards on the season, but it's 10. But right now, he is not coming out with the offense. These are the 2 plays where he's gotten up slowly.
It's that left ankle. You know, on the sideline, Rich, you know, he's talking to his coach, and he's stomping that left foot into the ground, indicating he's like, look, I can't put any power into the ground on that left side right now. So he's still trying to walk that thing off.
Got the helmet on. Jembreeze Dubar, the sophomore, a fellow Texan.
Matson's got to take over this game now.
Well, that's kind of been a question, right, throughout the year is, hey, if JEANTY is out of a game and it's a game that Boise State needs to win and get points, can they do it by just simply throwing the ball?
You know what's funny is we asked Coach Danielson that, and he told us he has to. If Madsen has to take over a game, that's what we have to do, whatever it takes to win. That's the mindset for Boise State.
Madsen, time, fires, caught there. That's a nice throw. That's Caples, who held on despite the hit.
This is a staple of the Boise State offense with these crossing routes off of play action. And, you know, Caples, a guy missed last season with an Achilles injury and has really come along this season, kept a positive mindset through the injuries, battled through them. And he's become a huge staple of this offense this year.
That's the thing. Their 2 most explosive receivers, Caples and Camper, both battled injuries throughout the offseason, coming in and through camp. Hit as he throws. Madsen, a back shoulder throw there, and it's broken up. Penry, the intended receiver, Parks on the coverage, and Parks is still down.
Looked like he may have come down awkwardly there. Almost intercepted, just in and out of his hands, and looked like he landed on the knee of Penry.
It's a good job by Penry to break it up. But Parks, a sophomore who's had some good moments tonight, is still down. There's a lot of college football already played. There's games going on right now. And if you're happening by and you saw the score, Boise State, number 12 in the country, on the road and in some trouble here, tied at 10 with a 2-win Wyoming team who always seems to play Boise State tough on this field. Remember in the cold, bitter cold 2 years ago, it was an interception in the end zone that finished the game and a win for Boise State. And of course, you can go even further back to Josh Allen. The only win that Boise gave Wyoming was that Josh Allen game in 2016. The Broncos have won every other matchup against Wyoming in their history. Ian Bell with the stop. Broncos, a 10-yard pickup. They are moving the sticks right now without Ashton JEANTY in a 10-10 tie in the Mountain West. On to the 4th. You're watching Cullen and Baylor moments ago with Boise State's Spencer Danielson.
Coach, the biggest question, can you give us an update on Ashton JEANTY? I saw he's favoring that left ankle a little bit.
Yeah, Ashton JEANTY's banged up, but we'll find a way to get back. He's a warrior. And, I mean, first off, thank you, Jesus, for an opportunity to coach this game, man. We got a great group of kids. It's a tie ball game going to the 4th quarter. We got to find a way to make our place.
Real quick, what did you say in that huddle?
Just, hey, stay in the moment, man. Seize the moment, stay in the moment, do it for each other. Look around at each other. This is why we're here, because we love each other. Let's go finish this thing.
Appreciate it, Coach.
God bless.
Good stuff, Brandon. Game summary. Time of possession still with Wyoming, but that 1 of 9 on 3rd down is a huge one right now. Madsen, pocket collapses, caught from behind and dragged down. Tice Westland is having a pretty good game. It's a gain of 2.
That was a good effort play by Tice Westland. Maddox Madsen, when he gets a head of steam, now he can get out. Good effort there, not giving up on that play by Westland, run them down, but, you know, still a positive gain there to avoid the sack by Madsen.
Second down, 8. It's Dubar in the backfield, and he'll carry it, and he'll get nothing. Maybe a half a yard. Jaden with a D. Williams with the stop.
You know, Jaden played his most snaps all season long last week, and so, you know, they're really trusting him as a starter on this defensive line, and, you know, this has been the down all game long. I mean, this is really told the tale, you know, of this game and why it's a 10-10 game.
Boy, Aaron Bowl and his defense have been terrific tonight.
They're top 5, Rich, in all of college football on third down for a reason.
Yeah, and a struggle tonight for Boise State, 1 of 9. Madsen on 3rd and 7. Scrambling out of the pocket, chased by Harris, lofts it out of bounds and incomplete. The Broncos, 53% on third down. Top 5 in the nation, are 1 of 10 tonight.
Amazing job by Aaron Bowl, defensive coordinator for Wyoming and this defense. They walk the linebackers up again. There have been times that they've blitzed the linebackers, and there have been times that they've dropped them into coverage, trying to confuse Madsen when he's back in the pocket. That time they drop him and able to make another stop on third down.
3 punts inside the 20 for James Ferguson Reynolds, who's run all over the place to kick it. And this a low liner. And a fair catch called for by Tyler King. Once again, Wyoming is backed up deep in their own territory. Boise is winning the punt game tonight. To get to the championship game, for the Broncos, it's easy. Got to win tonight. For the Rams, who play Fresno State, stick around. That's on our air after this one. They need to win their final 2 games, and UNLV is still hoping they win next week against their rival Nevada, and Colorado State takes just 1 loss. Then it's a rematch of last year's championship game and a rematch of a great game this year that you and I saw with Boise State and UNLV. But a long way to get there.
First order of business here is Wyoming. They've got to get something going on this drive, Rich. Very important.
And again, they don't have their starting quarterback. Did not come out of the locker room. Concussion protocol. And it's Evan Swoboda, who lost the job 3 weeks ago and has been taking reps both at quarterback and at tight end for Jay Sawvell. And we were told yesterday, hey, look, if something happens, he's ready to go. He's got the whole game plan as a quarterback and as a tight end.
It'd be interesting to know how he feels about playing the tight end position. We asked Jay Johnson about that, and he said, look, Evan Swoboda wanted to be a part of the team, wanted to help the team in any way that he could. And that's why you've seen him at tight end, and he accepted that role with this team.
He's attempted 2 passes here in the second half. He's completed 1. They have kept it on the ground almost exclusively. This is going to be another long third down. Shayla Oladipo with the tackle. It's a gain of maybe 2. Oladipo was huge at San Jose State last week. 2 sacks. He leads all defensive backs in college football with 5.5 sacks.
Yeah, he's a playmaker, Rich. And, you know, this is going to be a huge third down here. 1, to keep the drive moving for Wyoming. Time of possession is almost even in the third quarter there. But 2, you know, if you punt from right here, Boise State's going to have really good field position as well. So huge third down here for Wyoming.
Swoboda's not a real mobile guy. When he gets rolling, he can get yardage. Steps up, has time, fires it downfield, man open. That's Stevenson with the catch at the 40. Stevenson a move. Down goes the official. Down goes Stevenson. First down, Wyoming. Deep in Boise State territory. 62 yards.
Unbelievable. 2 of the best pass rushers putting pressure on Evan Swoboda. And how about the pocket presence, being able to step up in the pocket? The middle of the offensive line did a great job creating space there. And then the route, just beating him there in the middle of the defense there. Justin Stevenson using his speed against one of the better man-to-man coverage defenders on Boise State.
Swoboda's known for his strong arm, not his touch, but that was a really nice touch throw. 1st and 10 outside the 22. Whaley spinning inside the 20, and Whaley is down to the 19, 4 yards on that one.
You know, Whaley's a guy that refuses to go down on first contact as well. Able to slither his way through the offensive line. Looked like there was nothing there, Rich, and he's able to get 4 yards out of that. There's JEANTY on the sideline. I tell you what, Wyoming goes up in this game, JEANTY's going to find his way back onto the field.
2nd and 6. We haven't seen that quarterback draw since the first possession. Boise was all over it both times. This is a little bit of a reverse pitch, and it's the Broncos you're playing against. They see this stuff all the time. Tyler King loses 5 yards, and that's obviously a big stop for Boise.
You can't trick Boise State. They're too disciplined, and you have a drive going. Just stick to the game plan. Boise State got back into that football game last week against San Jose State because they ran 2 unnecessary trick plays against a defense that just doesn't get tricked often. It doesn't work against these guys. These guys are too disciplined, too good on defense. If we take a look at, there's Coach Danielson, Eric Shenander there in the booth. Huge 3rd down here.
They're down
for Boise.
And 12.
Prior to the play clock expiring, Wyoming will take their 2nd charge time out of the half. 30 seconds.
Boy, in a 10-10 game with all this time on the clock.
Sawbell's hot, but they have to be smarter with their timeouts. 2 unnecessary burn timeouts here in the 2nd half in the 10-10 game.
All right, see the play clock? Oh, see the officials holding them. That's worth look. And then they called the timeout because they thought it was coming down. Did you see how the play clock was down? The official came down. They reset it, but he had called the timeout. And I'm interested to see what the officials do here.
That's a huge timeout. I'm wondering if they have the ability to correct it. The only reason why I called timeouts because the play clock was going.
They probably took a look at the clock. It was down and it didn't reset. He took his eyes off it, then it reset, and he called the timeout. Wow. And there's no way to erase that. This is still 3rd down and 12. And Wyoming has 1 timeout in a 10-10 game with 9:47 left.
If you're Swoboda here, look, you can't take a sack, number 1, and obviously you got to take care of the football. The important thing is to come away with points.
Broncos bring heat. Swoboda is hit. The throw is on target and caught, but short of the 1st down. Stevenson inside the 20. But certainly
kick this field goal.
John Hoyland will make an entrance here with the field goal team.
Nice job by Swoboda. Boise State bringing blitz, but how about number 91, Ahmad Hassanin? Talk about the hustle coming from pass rush and then getting there to be able to help with that tackle, forcing that 4th down. Good hustle play there by Ahmad Hassanin.
36-yard attempt from a near hash. 2 of 2 between 30 and 39 this year is Hoyland, and he knocks that one through. So Wyoming has points and the lead against number 12 Boise State in the 4th in Laramie for Boise State to escape with a win.
How about that dance at the end of the 2016? Is that the Rich Waltz dance right there?
No, famously it was the Aaron Taylor dance last in 2022, and he almost did it without his shirt on here, and it was 5 degrees as he relived that.
That's a lineman for you.
Against ranked opponents wins here, and this comes with an asterisk. You see the Boise State. Last year they beat Texas Tech, who wasn't ranked in the AP poll, but was 23 in the coaches poll. And that was one of the biggest nights ever in Laramie in terms of football. Ashton Jeanty is back in the football game.
I told you.
You were right.
If Wyoming scores, Ashton Jeanty's coming back in the game.
9 minutes left here in Laramie. Madsen, time, little flip, sideline, it's broken up and incomplete. Lauder was the intended receiver. Connor Shea, one of the linebackers, all the way to the sideline in coverage.
And Wyoming getting pressure again in the pocket on Madsen. Almost intercepted right there by Connor Shea. He's been excellent this season. Had a career high in tackles last week versus Colorado State, 12. Second leading tackler on this team.
JEANTY looking for a hole. JEANTY pops one outside and stays on his feet, spinning around. Shea makes another tackle, but not before a 15-yard run.
And, you know, I know JEANTY's been a little bit banged up in this football game. One of my favorite parts about his game is his toughness. Always finds a way to shake it off and get back into the huddle. But they're going to have to continue to ride him in order to get back and close this game and retake the lead. Takes another big hit that time on that carry.
131 yards. He's well over 2,000 on the season tonight. JEANTY bounces this one outside. JEANTY to the 40, and he's down, and another big chunk. This one of 20 yards.
JEANTY's going to break 2 tackles here at the line of scrimmage. Watch this. Cuts back on the power play. Breaks a tackle from Weston right there, and then stiff arms the other defender with that hurt elbow. Guy's he's a machine. Just, when you need him the most, he finds a way to step up, Rich.
At the 40 of Wyoming.
Dubar in the game at running back.
Madsen rolling, looking. Strawn, crossing pattern, the catch at the 27. That's a difficult throw for a quarterback running to his left. Madsen kind of had to turn the body, and he was on target.
Yeah, Strawn hasn't been involved a lot in this football game, but he's really one of these players that is developed at the wide receiver position. And Madsen here with that follow through right there, making an accurate throw.
Dubar still in there. JEANTY has had 2 big runs on this drive. 7 minutes left, ball game. Dubar the carry, has a hole and has a gain inside the 20. See where they mark him. Actually, they'll mark him at the 20. That's a 6-yard carry. Breezy, as they call him. He's good, too. Sophomore, they're very high on him.
Oh, most definitely. Quick, elusive. He's got breakaway speed. He's dealt with some injuries himself this season, but when his number has been called, let's take a look at Dirk Cutter, their offensive coordinator. Breezy's been able to answer the call.
3 carries, 41 yards for JEANTY on this drive. Gets another carry. The stiff arm to the 15, the cutback to the 6, down to the 4. Breaking tackles like it's nothing. 15 more yards.
So JEANTY bounces it to the outside, stiffs arm the defender, and he's like, excuse me real quick. I'm not going out of bounds. Nope, I'm trying to get in the end zone. Nice run there again by JEANTY.
0 for 1 in the red zone. It's brought to you by Verizon. No touchdowns. They did get a field goal.
JEANTY at quarterback there in the Wildcat.
Yeah, with Crow leading the way. Left side, puts his head down. Did he get in? He's close and short. 4 yards on the carry.
I do the same thing again. Here come the big fellas in the game.
Oh, the Clydesdales are in the game. Braxton Feely, Michael Callahan, Herbert Gums. This is the defensive lineman that loaded all up.
JEANTY's coming out of the game. This could be a play action pass here with JEANTY on the sideline.
They've been known to throw to a Clydesdale. Dubar is in. Touchdown. Breezy gets in. The Clydesdales get some run, and the Broncos grab the lead.
You know,
that's a lot of beef.
That is. The interesting thing about that play is, you know, JEANTY could have stayed in that game. Unselfish. Team first player, man. Dubar gets into the end zone, gets into the action as well.
Point is good. 56 of those yards on that drive. Ashton JEANTY, his run got it down inside the 5. Clydesdale's in. Dubar in. Broncos. Sebi is overwhelmed right now from Notre Dame. Can they get that bye? Well, heck yes. I mean, they're in that spot right now. And you see the Big 12 Conference, BYU, Colorado, they both lost. In fact, a lot of Bronco fans spent most of the day all the way up to kickoff rooting against BYU and Colorado. You got to think there's some bubble teams, especially some Big 12 bubble teams, that are following this game and rooting for Wyoming.
No doubt about that.
Tyler King, he has taken one back for a touchdown this year. King gets through that first wave and to the 20. Good time to go to New York. Brent Stover, what you got?
Rich, 7th-ranked Alabama in serious trouble in Norman. Jalen Milroe just 4 of 13, 2 interceptions. This one by Kip Lewis. It's a 49-yard pick six. 24-3 Sooners in the third, guys.
All right. Thank you, Brent. Here, we're under 5 minutes left. Evan Swoboda, who lost the starting quarterback job and played tight end in the first half, is at quarterback. Caden Anderson, who had a nice first half at quarterback, concussion protocol, did not come out for the second half. Swoboda, who hit on a big long pass earlier, again goes up top. It was Stevenson he hit, and that's an overthrow. It's incomplete. It's 2nd down and 10. Just a reminder, for Boise State, win tonight, and they are in the Mountain West Championship game, and they're pretty much assured of hosting, with the computer ranking being a tiebreak. But for UNLV, they can get in if Colorado State loses a game and UNLV beats their rival Nevada next week. But Colorado State, the surprise this year, if they win their 2 games, they're in the championship game. On the ground, Whaley busts one, and he's out to the 30-yard line. That's a 1st down.
That was a huge run by Whaley. The important thing for Wyoming on this drive is to keep the chains moving. Obviously, you're down 4 points, so you need a touchdown here in this 4th quarter in order to take the lead. I think a field goal won't be good enough here against a really good Boise State offense.
And remember the 2 timeouts that Wyoming has called here in the second half. They have just one. Long way to go from their 30. Swoboda, quick throw, and to the sideline. Sargent the catch. Sargent had a huge first half. 81 yards, 3 catches. Swoboda's throws, he's thrown short, but that long ball, the one that hit to Stevenson that set up the field goal, was a really nice one.
Yeah, these are good, smart rhythm throws that help Swoboda not only get a rhythm, but get confidence as well. They're going to take another shot at some point here in this 4th quarter, but building his confidence first is huge.
And that's an area that Boise State's defense has struggled with, and that's deep shots. And that's been evident tonight. First half, and obviously the Swoboda to Stevenson throw here in the second half. Whaley right side. And that's a hard-earned 2 yards. 3rd down and 3.
So to me, because you have only one timeout, if you don't get it on this 3rd down, Rich, you got to go for it on 4th down if you're Wyoming.
It's 3rd down and 3. They're 1 of 4 on 3rd downs in the second half. Whaley in the backfield. Remember, Swoboda's a big guy at 6'5", 245 as a quarterback.
You could run this football here with 2 plays.
Blitz comes. Swoboda has time. Fires it. Sliding catch for a 1st down. Chris Durr, the speedster, makes a really nice catch. Sticks move. Wyoming at the 41.
I thought Swoboda a little bit late with this throw, but a nice adjustment there by Durr to be able to get down. Looked like you sliding into second base right there, Rich.
Yeah, well, he's got better hands than I do.
One timeout, you got the 2-minute timeout coming up. I like the pace Wyoming is going with right now. You don't have to be in a rush. You know you need a touchdown. Everything is 4-down territory right here.
Play action, blitz comes late. Swoboda's throw, oh, missed his man. That was Tyler King, 5'9", 175, not a tall target.
Timing just a little bit off. Tyler King couldn't quite get off the coverage there to break away until late. But that's 2 overthrows now that we've seen from Swoboda. Tyler King, he's probably looking at himself like, man, I got to get that. I got to find a way to get that football right there.
Second down 10. Swoboda came in completing just 47% of his throws, 4 touchdowns, 7 picks.
You can run the football here with the 2-minute timeout coming up.
4-man rush. Swoboda, time, lofts it down the field, and it's incomplete. Stevenson, crowd and the sideline wants a flag. They're not going to get it. Amarian McCoy in coverage.
That's good coverage. A little bit of a grab of the shoulder right there.
Just a little one.
Could have been called, but I like the referees allowing these guys to play. I mean, both guys have their hand on each other.
Maybe
let him play.
Uncatchable ball. It was kind of in that gray area. Maybe without the hold, he gets closer to the catch.
Yeah. So here, Rich, third down, you don't have to get it all. That's what you got to be thinking right here if you're Swoboda. Don't worry about getting 10 yards here, just to get a positive play. That's more important.
Swoboda stepping, throwing short, and that's hit. There's a flag down. And the clock should have stopped before the 2-minute timeout. They're going to need to put some time back up on the clock, and that's important if you're Wyoming.
Looks like an illegal shift on the offense or formation.
Wyoming had 2 players in motion at the same time. That's a foul for a legal shift. That penalty declined. Pass is incomplete. Or excuse me, the runner was short of the line of game. Time on the field.
And they're not putting time back on the clock. 17-13, 2-minute timeout. Wyoming.
In by Reese's Peanut Butter Cups.
Quick clarification, because they declined the penalty, the officials were going to start the clock anyway, so the officials just said, let's go to the 2-minute timeout. It's all down to this if you're Wyoming.
Yeah, keep this game going by converting, or essentially game's over if you don't convert here. Listen, Stevenson's been big for you in the second half. You got to be smart here, Swoboda. They're going to blitz here, Boise State.
4th down at about 9. They have only 1 timeout. If they don't get it, and flag goes down. Swoboda goes down. Herbert Gums is on top of him. And it looks like Boise State kind of celebrating here. They feel the penalties on Wyoming, and
offense.
It is.
Number 4.
They'll decline it.
Ball goes over on down. First down, Boise.
And the Broncos now with a 4-point lead, 1:52 left, and 1 timeout for Wyoming. You're watching college football on CBS Sports. Here on CBS Sports Network, Colorado State still unbeaten in the Mountain West. They're at 5-0. Boise State is right there. A miracle is needed by Wyoming. So, time-wise, if you do the math here, if Boise State doesn't throw and get an incompletion, if they just run it and don't get a first down with 1 timeout, Wyoming could get the ball back, but it's probably going to be under 20 seconds. Obviously, you don't want to fumble. JEANTY goes down. Florentine makes the stop, and there's the timeout. Loss of 1. Easy mode. Nothing easy about this one for Boise State. The Geico play of the game.
Who else would it be other than the Heisman candidate and the guy who went over 2,000 yards tonight on the season, Ashton JEANTY, doing it all, showing the toughness, the grit. Saw him get up slow a few times throughout this game, had to go to the sideline a few times in this game. But here he is, back in the huddle, back in the game, ready to close this football game out.
And you see how much he means to Boise State, obviously. Just 18 carries to get 168 yards. 61 yards was his longest. That was a touchdown. He averaged 9.3 yards per carry. And so, again, play clock will get reset at 40 if Boise State runs it and doesn't pick up a first down.
And if I'm Boise, I'm running this football. I'm not really concerned about converting for a first down. But then again, you know, we talked about the 2 burnt timeouts. by Wyoming here in the second half, showing up huge here.
This is JEANTY. All right, it's much warmer, similar 2 years ago. Remember George Helani, I don't think, had fumbled all year, and all they had to do was hold on to it and get a first down. He fumbled. Devon Harris picked it up, ran down the sideline in a 3-point Boise lead.
Yeah.
Talon Green caught him from behind, and then Wyoming inexplicably threw a pick on the next throw. So we've seen strange things happen on this field with these two teams.
You got to give Wyoming a lot of credit for the way that they've battled despite how their season has gone this year.
So the Broncos are going to kill the clock with a timeout here at the very end of the play clock. No timeouts left. Minute 3 left, and the Broncos this close to clinching a spot in the Mountain West Championship game. And of course later, right around the bend, that's coming up, Fresno State, Colorado State. To get into the championship, we've determined for Boise State, just win this game. That's good enough. For Colorado State, they need to win 2. For UNLV, they need to win next week. They won last night impressively in the rain in San Jose. They beat their rival, and they need 1 Colorado State loss.
I tell you what, those 2 games for Colorado State aren't going to be easy. Fresno State's a tough opponent, and Utah State, although not having the season that they want to this year, they're explosive on offense.
So this is going to be a play, and then 40 more seconds on the play clock. And not going anywhere. They get him down to the ground. Play clock is reset and rolling. You know, I've seen it blow up where a team in this spot tries a field goal. I go all the way back. It was a Michigan State-Purdue game. Nick Saban was the head coach at Michigan State, decided to kick a field goal in this spot. And Roosevelt Colvin blocked it and took it all the way back for a touchdown. Purdue ended up winning that game.
Well, Boise State has had their special teams issues this season, but, you know, I think you let the clock go down, call timeout, you kick this field goal, go up 7 points.
Boy, you get it blocked, and crazy things can happen.
Well,
it's Dalmas, and he's really good. And their operation, their field goal operation is really good. And the weather's perfect right now. There's no snow. There's no ice like last year.
Yeah. It's about execution, and we had a conversation with Coach Spencer Danielson last night, and he said, look, we can't live in the what-ifs.
Right. Well, if you get the field goal, you can't, you know, unless they score and get a 2-point conversion, you're at least, you know, buying yourself overtime, and you're eating some clock.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what, Boise State kicks this field goal, Wyoming finds a way to miraculously score and make it a 19-20 game. I'm going for 2 to try to win it.
Stacey Collins, you know, one of the points of emphasis this week was to get better kicking the football, especially on the punt game. Stacey Collins is an outstanding special teams coach.
Oh, yeah.
That was really a key tonight, was the work of James Ferguson Reynolds. Well, Dalmas looked like he was going to kick it. I think that's, again, having seen it happen, kicking a field goal here and getting it blocked, they're certainly not going to throw the football because, well, they could. You know, it's 4th down. It's going to stop the clock anyway, so they can throw it and get an incompletion, and it wouldn't change things.
Yeah, I think they're going to run around, try to burn as much clock as possible here and just throw it out of bounds.
No, they're going to throw it towards the end zone, and it's broken up, and it's incomplete. All right, so 14 seconds. Obviously, the clock would have stopped anyways with a 4th down stop, and they get it, and it's an incompletion.
That was almost, first of all, an incredible catch by Cameron Campbell right there. Nice job by Tariqus Davis getting a hand in there and breaking up that pass. A gutsy call by Boise State. But a chance here now for Wyoming. I mean, 14 seconds. You've got to get something going towards the sideline to get out of bounds here. Put yourself in a position to take a shot to the end zone.
So all of it, you do get it with just under 20 seconds. Now, Swoboda has a stronger arm than Caden Anderson. They need a big chunk here.
Look.
Swoboda back, steps up, fires over the middle, and it's incomplete. And you're down to 10 seconds.
Why are you throwing the ball to the middle of the field? This has to go to the sideline. The defensive backs are playing off of the outside receivers by about 15 yards. Run those quick outs.
Well, if you get a first down, it stops, but you're right. I mean, you don't have a whole lot of time to get up.
You don't have a lot of time, though, still.
Now they're down to 10 seconds. Swoboda, four-man rush, steps through it, fires to the sideline, incomplete. And now you're down to 5, and you're a ways away from a Hail Mary that gets anywhere near the end zone.
They had easy yards on the outside. These corners are playing 15 yards off at least. I mean, these guys could have ran 10 yards, turned around on a curl route, caught the ball, and got out of bounds on both of these offensive plays.
Well, of course, yeah, I don't know that they have time to even get it out to the sideline and get out of bounds and get close to a shot. Let's see what they do here.
Yeah, we've got time for a quick one here.
Boise.
Somewhere Chris Peterson is watching and thinking about that hook and lateral against Oklahoma in the Fiesta Bowl.
Right. Yeah, I just didn't understand the strategy there, Wyoming. Those corners, again, on the outside, I mean, they're playing way off for those wide receivers. Those guys could have ran 10 yards, turned around, caught the ball, got out of bounds twice. There's Dirk Cutter again, offensive coordinator. There's Jay Johnson, offensive coordinator.
So let me ask you this. Do you take a heave and try to have a scrum at the 20 and catch one? Or do you throw it middle and start to lateral it?
This is going to be one of those ladder plays, but with 5 seconds, you do have, I mean, it's got to be quick, but you got time to catch and get out of bounds here to get about 5 or 6 yards on this play.
They probably need about 10. That would get them 60 away from the goal line. Here it is. They're going to load it up and fire it down the field and hope for a deflection. It's deflected and incomplete. And Boise State has won the game. A perfect conference schedule, a spot in the championship game in 2 weeks.